Throughout history, the predominant fuel source for cars has been gasoline. However, it is not necessary for this to remain the case in the future. Alternative options such as other liquid fuels and electricity can also be utilized to power cars. This raises the question: what are the differences among these options, and which one is the most optimal? Gasoline is derived from the refining process of crude oil, a fossil fuel extracted from deep underground. The energy present in gasoline stems from a class of molecules referred to as hydrocarbons. Crude oil consists of hundreds of different hydrocarbons, and specific types are utilized in the production of gasoline and diesel. Consequently, these fuels cannot be used interchangeably. Fuels derived from crude oil possess an exceptionally high energy density, providing a substantial amount of energy output relative to their cost. However, they are associated with numerous disadvantages. Oil spills, for instance, result in environmental damage and require billions of dollars for cleanup operations. Furthermore, the combustion of fossil fuels, including gasoline, contributes to air pollution, causing the premature death of approximately 4.5 million individuals annually. In terms of global greenhouse gas emissions, transportation accounts for 16%, with nearly half originating from passenger cars burning fossil fuels. These emissions contribute to global warming and the exacerbation of extreme weather conditions. In the United States alone, climate change-induced storms have caused $500 billion in damages within the past 5 years. Considering the efficiency of gasoline as a fuel source, it is important to acknowledge that its highly destructive nature prevents it from being deemed the best option. Electricity represents the most prevalent alternative. Electric cars operate using a battery pack and electric motor, rather than an internal combustion engine, as found in gasoline-powered vehicles. These cars require charging stations to replenish their energy reserves. When supported by appropriate power infrastructure, electric cars can exhibit comparable efficiency to their gasoline counterparts. Moreover, if powered by electricity generated from renewable sources, they can eliminate greenhouse gas emissions entirely. Despite their advantages, electric cars are typically more expensive than gasoline-powered vehicles. However, since 2010, the cost difference has been diminishing rapidly. Another viable alternative to gasoline is the utilization of other liquid fuels. Many of these fuels can be transported and stored using existing infrastructure designed for gasoline and can be used in conventional cars. Additionally, these alternative fuels can achieve carbon neutrality when produced using atmospheric carbon dioxide. Consequently, when burned, they release the same amount of carbon dioxide back into the air, thereby avoiding a net increase in overall emissions. One approach to achieving carbon-neutral fuels involves capturing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and combining it with hydrogen extracted from water. This process generates hydrocarbons, which serve as the energy source in fossil fuels. However, if these fuels are produced using clean electricity, they do not contribute to emissions. Nonetheless, such fuels tend to occupy a larger volume compared to an energetically equivalent amount of gasoline, posing a challenge to their implementation in cars. Another strategy for producing carbon-neutral fuels involves utilizing plant-based sources. These fuels are derived from plants that take carbon from the air through photosynthesis. However, it is crucial to ensure that the cultivation of these plants is also carbon neutral. Consequently, certain crops that require fertilizer, a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, are not suitable for this purpose. Therefore, the next generation of carbon-neutral fuels must be derived either from plant waste or from plants that can grow without the need for fertilizer. Biofuels represent an alternative that can achieve efficiency levels comparable to gasoline, although not all biofuels meet this criterion. To determine the viability of a fuel option, affordability for consumers plays a crucial role. Unfortunately, the initial costs associated with implementing new technologies, coupled with substantial subsidies provided to fossil fuel producers, contribute to a higher cost for almost every green technology compared to its fossil fuel-based counterpart. This price disparity is known as the green premium. Governments have already initiated subsidies for electric vehicles to bridge this gap. In certain regions, depending on the costs of electricity and gasoline, electric cars can already offer a more economical option overall, despite their higher upfront cost. Conversely, the other alternative options, particularly zero-carbon liquid fuels, currently face greater challenges. These fuels can be twice as expensive as gasoline or even more. Innovators are striving to reduce the green premiums associated with these fuels, as the ultimate goal is to identify a fuel that is both affordable for consumers and sustainable for the planet. Overall, it is evident that transitioning away from gasoline and exploring alternative fuel options is essential.